Welcome back to On the Record, and today I have two great vintage children's records to share with you. Now the first one is called Build Me a House, and it's a dramatic play with music by Rudolph Gower, story by B. Alden, and it was sung by Eugene Lowell Singers. Now, love the graphics on this, so cool. But it is on all of these records, kids' records from the 40s and 50s that I have. Well, even on into the 60s and 70s, but this era, I really love the style of the artwork. Now, let me read you a short blurb on the back of this, excuse me, about the record. This is what parents should know about this Guild record, because this was released by the Children's Record Guild. It says, the Jones family is determined to build a house. They call in a builder and give him the specifications, agree on the price, and lo and behold, he builds the house almost by sheer magic. This is a dramatic play record record on a favorite theme. Children are always building from the earliest block stage up. In Build Me a House, they meet the builder. They, the buyer, the cement mixer, the bricklayer, the carpenter, the plumber, the electrician, etc. In a genuine here and now story. There is no doubt that this activity will become a natural part of their daily play. So it is a fun record, but it is also an educational record. I found myself chuckling at the music and lyrics. It's a fun little record. So we're going to take a listen to this one first, and then after that's done, I'll be right back with you in just a couple minutes to listen to the second record. So let's...
Once Mr. Jones bought an empty lot at a pleasant spot, and he wanted to build a house on it. So he went back home to his family, and he asked, "What sort of house shall this be?"
"With bedrooms and kitchen," said Mrs. Jones. "And I want a parlor," said Sister Jones.
"A cellar to work in," said Brother Jones.
"A playroom to play in," said Baby Jones.
"And something else," said Mr. Jones, "beside the bedroom, the kitchen, the cellar. I want a terrace to eat on with a yellow umbrella."
So they all went to the builder and asked,
"Will you build us this house?"
"Yes," said the builder, "I'll agree to build this house for your family, with bedrooms and kitchen and parlor and cellar and a terrace to eat on, with a yellow umbrella." So the next day Mr. Jones went to watch them build his house, and there was nothing there at the pleasant spot, just an empty lot. "Oh," said Mr. Jones, "maybe the builder forgot." But just then along came the builder. "And where is my house?" asked Mr. Jones. "Just wait," said the builder, "just wait and see. I'll build this house, I'll build it like magic." And he clapped his hands and said, "Abracadabra, abracadabble." And around the corner came a big steam shovel, and the shovel began.
Shunk, shunk, shunk. Boom. Clank. Dig the earth up, lift it.
Chunk, chunk, chunk.
Boom.
Clank.
Swing it over.
Dump it.
And the steam shovel dug out the whole big cellar, and then a cement mixer came, and they poured in the cement for the cellar and walls, and the job was done. "Now, how's that?" said the builder. "Isn't that something?" "Huh?" said Mr. Jones. "That was only a steam shovel and a cement mixer. And what's more, the cellar is dug," said Mr. Jones. "But where is my house?" said Mr. Jones. "Oh, yes," said the builder. "That's perfectly true. There's something else that I must do." And he clapped his hands and said, "Abracadabra, abracadabra." And around the corner came a bricklayer, and then another, and another, and another, and his brother, and then came carpenters, and they all went to work. First the bricklayers.
Squish, squish, pull, push, mix the mortar, step, squish, wheel the wheelbarrow, hump the mortar, dump it, the mortar, squish, squish,
lay the
push, mix the mortar,
lay the
mortar, all in a row.
And then the carpenters went to work with their tools.
Knock, I'm the hammer, knock, 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 driving the nails down through the floor. Squeal, do you hear me? I am the plane, smoothing the edges of a door.
Zip through, rip across, zip, rip, I'm the saw.
Soon they were all through with the woodwork in the house. And now, said the builder, isn't that something? Huh, said Mr. Jones. They were only bricklayers and carpenters. And what's more, the cellar is dug, said Mr. Jones. The walls are built, said Mr. Jones. But where is my house, said Mr. Jones. Oh, yes, said the builder. It's really upsetting, the things to remember that I keep forgetting. And he clapped his hands and said, Abracadabra, abracamummers. And up from the cellar came electricians and plumbers. The plumbers put in all the pipes for hot and cold water, and then the electricians put in all the wires for electricity.
Here chimes will ring, the radio sing,
Tra-la-la-la-la.
here toast will pop, the wash slip slop.
And up on the ceiling, shining bright, click the switch. There's a light.
And the plumbers, too.
From the water main out in the street to the furnace where water can heat, to kitchen and bathroom, and when we are done, hot water, cold water, run, run, run.
And now, look at that, said the builder. Your house is built, Mr. Jones. Isn't that something? Wait, said Mr. Jones. I'll go get my family to look at it. And soon Mr. Jones was back with his family, and they all looked at it.
With bedrooms and kitchens, said Mrs. Jones. How pretty a parlor, said Sister Jones.
I'll work in the cellar, said Brother Jones.
I'll play in the playroom, said Baby Jones.
But something's missing, said Mr. Jones. Beside the kitchen, the parlor, the cellar, where's the terrace to eat on? Where's my yellow umbrella?
Oh, said the builder, that's not easy to get. A yellow umbrella is the hardest thing yet. And he clapped his hands and said, Abracadabra, abracabella. But there was no yellow umbrella. Abracadabra, abracadella. And still no sign of a yellow umbrella. And so he went right on trying every letter. Abracamella, abracarella, abracawella. And just when he came to the last letter in the alphabet, abracazella, a Frankfurter wagon came round the corner. Oh, Daddy, cried Sister Jones, buy me a Frankfurter. How many? Asked the Frankfurter man. All of them. Everything, cried the builder. All your Frankfurters and the cart. And your beautiful yellow umbrella. So he wheeled the cart up to the terrace, and the Jones family ate up all the Frankfurters and sipped up the last drop of lemonade. And now tell me, said the builder to Mr. Jones, isn't that something? And Mr. Jones answered, yes, sirree. The most wonderful thing I ever did see. With your abracadabra and abracazella,
How you managed to get me this yellow umbrella.
I hope you enjoyed that. The music was really lyrics. That's a fun record for a child. It would be great. Now the second one is The Milk's Journey, and this is an exciting, dramatic story of how milk comes to your house if you lived in the late 1940s, early 1950s. It's probably changed considerably by this time. But again, I point out the artwork. The artwork is awesome, colorful. Any kid would have at the time would have loved that. But The Milk's Journey is a story by Lucy Sprague Mitchell from the Here and Now storybook that she had published by E.P. Dutton. It was told by Norman Rose, who told the... I thought he told the last story too, but he didn't. But anyways, told by Norman Rose, sung by Lee Sweetland, and music by Robert Wells. And this was again released by the Children's Record Guild. And let me read you the little blurb about this record, and then I'll play it for you. This is the story of milk from cow to the bottle to Bobby. The form of presentation used is based on the recognized fact that the best way for children to learn is to live their experiences in a here and now world. This entertaining record affords an opportunity for children to express their experiences through dramatic play. It meets the persistent what's it for, where does it come from, and why questions. It answers them simply and directly in both story and in lyrics. And they're fun lyrics too. The record doesn't burden the child with unnecessary facts. The child is only aware of the moments of pleasure and amusing songs as the record tells of cows in the pastures, milk in the cans, trucks, trains, factory bottling, and with the milkman. But long after the record is put away, the knowledge learned remains to help stimulate his thinking. So this story of the Milk's Journey, which starts with once upon a time there was Bobby, and once upon a time there were 5 cows, and ends when the milk finally slides down Bobby's throat and will make a very real important contribution to Bobby's understanding of the world in which he lives. So I hope you'll enjoy this. Take a listen, have fun, sing along, gather some kids around if you want them to listen to these vintage records. And I thank you for joining me today, and I hope that you have enjoyed. I've enjoyed being with you. God bless all of you. I will see you again real soon, and have a great day.
Once upon a time, there was Bobby. Bobby was a boy who drank milk. He drank milk in the morning, he drank milk at noon, he drank milk before he went to bed. And where do you think all that milk came from? Well, that milk had a long journey. For once upon a time, there was Bobby, and once upon a time, there also was... Do you hear them?
Yes, there also were 5 cows, 5 cows, 5 cows. They didn't like to wait, but came and mooed at the farmer's gate. 5 big cows. The farmer came when he heard them call and led each one into her stall. Now I must milk them one and all to get the milk for Bobby.
The 5 cows were Daisy and Squirrel and Queen and Lady and Buttercup. When they were in the barn, the farmer took his stool and big pail and sat down to milk. Squirt, squirt, the milk poured into the pail. And when the 5 cows had given all their milk, the farmer let the cows wander out of the barn and into the pasture again. There they ate the green grass and forgot all about the milk. But the milk had only just begun its journey. For once upon a time there was Bobby, but once upon a time there also was... Do you hear it?
Yes, there also was a little truck, a truck that hurried down the hill and said, honk, honk, I can't stand still. A milk truck. The driver said, I've come again to carry your milk to the railroad train. I'll drive through sun or snow or rain to bring the milk to Bobby.
Beep, beep, snorted the truck, chugging up the hill to the barn door. The driver jumped out. He took the big can of milk standing by the door and lifted it into the truck where there were lots of other big cans. When the truck came to the station, The driver jumped out again and lifted all the big heavy cans of milk out of the truck to the station platform. Then, beep, beep, he drove away. And he forgot all about the milk. But the milk went on with its journey. For once upon a time there was Bobby, and once upon a time there also was... Do you hear it?
Yes, there also was a train that carried milk and freight and said, please hurry or I'll be late. A milk train, the engineer said, clear the track, bin up the line and I'm coming back with a choo-choo and a clickety-clack to bring the milk to Bobby.
And puffed the engine as it pulled the trains into the station. The baggage man took hold of one of the big cans of milk and hoisted it onto the train. And then another can, and then another, until all the cans were in. Then the train puffed away, and the baggage man went back into the station, and he forgot all about the milk. But the milk still went on with its journey. Went on. For once upon a time there was Bobby, and once upon a time there also was... Do you hear it?
Yes, there also was a factory whose whistle blew and said, now there is work to do. A milk factory. We'll heat the milk, we'll make it cold and into the bottle to be sold. And so before it's 1 day old, we'll bring this milk to Bobby.
The train pulled into the factory station. In a little while, the milk cans were in a big building, and the milk was being heated and then being cooled. Many, many men worked at many, many machines. One machine poured the milk into bottles. Another machine poured the milk into containers. Many, many men put the bottles and containers into boxes for the drivers to get. And when they were through with their work, the many, many men in the big factory went home and forgot all about the milk. But the milk still went on with its journey. For once upon a time there was Bobby, and once upon a time there also was... Do you hear it?
Yes, there also was a wagon with a horse whose rubber shoes clip-clopped each time he started, each time he stopped. A milk wagon. And the milkman said, my work is done before most other work's begun. From house to house I hurry on to bring the milk to Bobby.
The milk wagon came down the street until it stopped at Bobby's house. The driver jumped out and put down the bottles Bobby's mother had ordered. Then he drove away and forgot all about the milk. But the milk still went on with its journey. For after the milkman went away, Johnny's mother ran downstairs and opened the door. There stood the milk bottles.
The milk from the cows who couldn't wait, but said moo-moo at the farmer's gate. The milk in the truck that couldn't stand still, but went a-honking down the hill. The milk on the train that carried the freight, and clickety-clackety couldn't be late. The milk where the factory whistle blew, and said, now there is work to do. The milk that went where the horse clip-clopped, each time he started, each time he stopped. The milk from a bottle that opened up, and mother poured into Bobby's cup.
The milk slipped and slid down Bobby's throat, and so turned into Bobby. And so at last, the milk ended its long, long journey.